everybody, it's Dawn, the Self-Esteem Queen, and this is the blog that a lot of you have been sending me private emails about or text messages about. So I figured that since I had a little time, I would just go ahead and do this blog on ending friendships. This is not the first blog that I've done, the first video blog that I've done on this, but some of you are new to the Self-Esteem Queen. So there are some things that I'd like to reiterate for you and then give you some examples to help you along your way. So for those of you that don't know, I'm the type of person, and I'm not the only person like myself, who takes inventory of the people in my life every 3 months. So that's 4 times a year, every quarter. And when I take inventory of the people in my life, I look at a few things. Are they helping me to grow? Are they nurturing my soul? And are they toxic? And depending on the person, depending on what they're going through, and depending on what they're allowing somebody to put them through, I reassess people, like, you know, on a scorecard. And I say, okay, this person is toxic, this person is not. Now, you become the average of the 5 people that you're around the most. Jim Rohn said it, and I believe it. And I spend a lot of time coaching people and mentoring people. A lot of those are adults, and then a lot of them are teenagers. So it's really important for me to always have a clear energy space. I burn sage all the time. I burn incense all the time, no matter where I'm at, in my house or outside in my woman cave. But I think that it's important that we start defining what friendship is, because a lot of people are doing this thing where everybody is your friend. And I'm here to tell you today that a lot of people are not your friends. And I'm not saying they're haters, and I'm not saying they're frenemies. What I'm saying is that you need to have a clear-cut definition of what the word friend means. And then once you have a clear-cut definition, you need to have boundaries that you make people adhere to. Now, that's not to say that you're forceful with people, but in my life, if people are not adhering to my boundaries, I step away. So first, let's define what a friend is. So I define a friend as someone who cares about the well-being of another person, and that includes their emotional well-being, their spiritual well-being, and their mental well-being. And they do this through actions and not through words. In friendships, I feel like 2 people should be mutually invested inside of that friendship. So that means that a friendship should not be one-sided. I believe that people in friendships should have a mutual trust and open communication, so that if there's an issue or a problem, because those things happen even amongst friends, that you're able to talk about that and get over it. So what happens when the lines of communication break down and you feel like somebody is more of a frenemy than a friend? So recently, I ended a friendship with 3 different people. And I did so, you know, after like a lot of prayer and after meditation. And here are the reasons why. I don't believe that friends lie to each other. I don't believe that friends talk about each other behind their back. I don't believe that friends compete with each other, and I don't believe that friends copy every single thing that their friend does if they're in the same line of business. I don't believe that friends allow their other friends to live toxic lifestyles and condone it, whether they're lying on Facebook about where they're at in life, or, you know, whether they're lying to you about where they're at in life. So I had all of these people, all 3 of them, are people that I gave a second chance in my life. And all 3 of them are people who came to me and said they didn't feel that the friendship was over, and they didn't, you know what I mean, they wanted to work on this friendship after I had put them on a hiatus for several months. The first person had told my personal business in regards to me being pregnant with my children to somebody else, another mutual friend. And then when I went to tell my mutual friend this great news, the mutual friend was like, oh, so-and-so already told me. And it was really hurtful, because that person didn't even find out from me. That person found out on Facebook. So if you found out on Facebook that I was pregnant, it probably isn't in your best interest as a friend to go to somebody else. Oh, because that's gossiping. That's what that is. And so I let the person back into my life. I allowed the person to come to my home and meet my children. And I pretty much have been like ride or die for this person. And so one thing that I can't stand, like one thing that is like a deal breaker for me, is when people say, oh, I want to come see your kids. So you have to understand that I live like 2 hours from LA, maybe like an hour and a half. I drive to the city a lot. Like I would say like maybe 3 times a month, 4 times a month I drive to the city. And people are always so excited to see me. Oh my gosh, stop by and see me. Oh my gosh, see me. But these same people don't come to see me ever. And so I don't have a problem with you coming to see me. Like, I'm not really a people person. I don't really like people in my house invading my space. When I'm ready for you to leave, I want you to get out. And it's not personal. It's just, I'm an extroverted introvert. If this person offered to or said she was going to come to my house and then didn't call me the whole day, stood me up as if I don't run a business from home, as if she said she was coming to see my twins, and then she sent me a message that night apologizing and saying that she was going through some things, whatever, didn't call me. I don't know what kind of friend does that. She wasn't in an accident, this or that. So I had deactivated my Facebook a while ago because I don't really have a lot of people on my personal Facebook, and I don't really use Facebook for personal reasons. And so I had to reactivate it to check a message that someone had sent me on Facebook. And lo and behold, this person ain't acting depressed at all. This person is actually acting like they're turned up. That's the term. And so I was like, if you have time to do that and all the things that you're doing, then you have time to call me and tell me that, oh, I can't make it, oh, something came up, oh, I don't feel like driving. Like, keep it real or just keep it. I don't, like, my twins aren't begging, starving, or dying for people to come visit them, trust me. And my twins are on a schedule, so for me to accommodate somebody into my home means I have to uplift the schedule that my twins have been on for almost 15 months, their whole life. And so I decided, you know what? I've been praying for this person who told me that they might have been going through a depression, and I've been really, naive about a friendship, because a friend, a real friend, wouldn't lie. And I don't deal with liars, because either you worship the Father of truth or you worship the Father of lies, and there is no in-between Father to worship. So because there's no in-between Father to worship, and if you lie to me and I find out you lied to me, then I just cut you off. And let me say, I haven't always been a great friend. Like, at all. I have not always been a great friend. But through experiences, and also through being a certified life coach and coaching other people through their friendships, I've learned a lot about what I want to be and what I want to have in a friendship. And I project out what I want back from other people. So I'm not the type of friend that you have to call every day. Like, I'm the complete opposite. You could talk to me once every few months and I'm good. Like, there are people that have been in my life for years that we just click. It's not a problem. So anyway, I ended up sending this person a text message at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Like, that's what it is. Like, and really and truly, you don't owe people an explanation for ending a friendship. Like, you don't have to be rude or disrespectful. I'm still going to pray for this person. I still love this person with all of my heart, but I'm going to love this person from afar, because if you lie to me, I don't want nothing to do with you. Especially if you say you're a Christian, and especially when you talk about church, because I'm not one to judge, but a lie is a lie is a lie. And if you're going to lie, then we're not equally yoked. Not right now. Maybe at a later date we will be, maybe before we were. But at the present time, we're not equally yoked. And I reassess every 3 months. You should probably be doing the same. So against my better judgment, I allowed 2 other people back into my life. And, actually allowed myself to believe that the reason for the breakup of the friendship had to do with me and my rigorous expectations of a friend. And, there's a difference between standards and expectations. Let me talk about that for a minute. There's a difference between standards and expectations. Now, there are people who have standards, right? And people need to adhere to those standards, and there are people that have expectations. Okay, I don't have expectations of people. I have standards of the types of people that I choose to be around, because those are the types of people that I want to be the average of. And against my better judgment, I let some people back into my life who, you know, I consider to be really close to me. And then one day, one of them told me straight up, I pick your brain and I copy everything you do. That's like a paraphrase of what I was told. I love these things. So that was a paraphrase. And I was a bit taken aback. But, you know, I'm one of those people that I don't follow my friends like on social networks all the time. If you know me in real life, then I don't need to follow you, because we may have similar thoughts. And I think that it's great when you don't follow somebody and then your similar thoughts kind of mesh and you see it in somebody else's retweet, or you see somebody forward a status update that, you know, that's great. But when somebody blatantly tells you, I copy everything you do, and then I think what really changed my whole heart and my whole energy towards this person is one day I did a post about suicide, and it was something really important to me. I like poured out my heart on Facebook. And this person basically took what I wrote, made it a template, and wrote their own thing. And, you know, I talk about being authentic, and I promise you, I didn't see anything authentic about that. And when it gets to the point where I don't want to talk about something or say somebody is wrong because I don't want to have confrontation, or I don't want someone to be mad at me, or I don't want the reaction to be like one of negativity, I know it's time to end the friendship. You know, when you notice little things are happening in a friendship, you know, take heed to that. When you notice that people are being condescending towards you via text message, take heed to that. And so I had a business opportunity that I had already told these friends about. And no, it's not Mary Kay, and no, it's not the body wrap, and it's none of that. It's like guaranteed speaking. And I hit them up and was like, you know, I'm ready. And they basically brushed me off like, oh yeah, I'll be available from this time to this time. Like, I don't know, when friends started when people start acting funny, notice that. Don't ignore it, notice it. When people act different than they acted before, notice it. I was just telling my little boo thing yesterday that, you know, you can't expect people who are stagnant in their life to progress with you if they're not willing to progress. Today I wrote on Facebook, here's the breakdown. You reconnect with somebody on Facebook, and then you start talking and reminiscing about high school or college, and then you say, oh, okay, let's meet up. And then you meet up and you hang out with the person, and then a few months later you realize that you should have kept the ASS on Facebook because nothing about them is real. You know, all of them is fake. When I decided to end the friendship with these two people, the woman, it's a woman and a man, wife and husband. The woman decided to, now Christians again, and I'll get on Christians in a minute, but she decided to kind of like berate me and chastise me. Now, if anybody knows me, you know, I take being chastised from God very seriously, and I don't deal with being chastised by humans. I don't, because I have a great enough relationship with God to whereas if I need to be chastised, he'll chastise me. And when people get angry and they text you or they call you and they say how they really feel, all you should do is thank God for the God-formation, honey, because when she sent me these text messages and she was like, and I expect this from you, and I was like, first of all, I'm just going to delete from here on out whatever you sent me. She sent me a couple more and I just deleted them because once you let me know who you are, I believe you. I don't have to read anymore. Like, you're not gonna insult me, and you're not gonna, you know, berate me, and I be a part of that. And a lot of people feed into it by responding back, delete, go on Sprint, block them from calling and texting. Say, I shouldn't have to hold up all these pieces of papers for my undergraduate degree, my master's degree. Like, none of my clients have ever asked to see any of that. And I live a life where if you are having to always talk about your Christianity, at some point I begin to question and wonder where the Christianity is. Like, people can see me and they're like, oh my God, I see the God in you. People tell me that all the time. And it's not even an ego-driven statement. It's just when you're God confident and people know you're God confident, people know that you're riding for God. They know I'm a soldier for Christ, serving for the Lord. People know that. They just know. And when I have friends that say they love the Lord, but they try to compete with me, or they lie to me and stuff like, or they try to berate me, that's not a friend. You know, because if your feelings are hurt, right? Same with me. If my feelings are hurt by what someone says to me, I'm choosing to have my feelings hurt. Somebody else's truth shouldn't be painful for you. And I'll say this, people have ended their friendship with me before. I didn't get an exit interview. I also didn't get angry, mad, curse them out behind their back, call them up, ask them why. I didn't do any of that. When the friendship is over, I thank God for the reason. I thank God for the season. I learned the lesson and I move on. I don't spend a lot of time writing, status updates about the people indirectly or subliminally. I don't do stuff like that. And it just so happens that I'm coaching 3 people right now through SEQ Academy on ending relationships and friendships. And so during this coaching process, it's like I'm going through the same thing. And that's one of the reasons why I coach on things like this, because I don't coach on things that I don't know about. Everything that I got my degree on, I don't coach on. I got my degree in communication studies with an emphasis in public speaking and theology with an emphasis in Asian religions. And I don't preach, right, or speak or teach really on any of these things. But at the same time, I do through my actions. And if people can't communicate with me, it makes me feel like I went to college in vain. If people say that they're Christians and they do things that don't line up with the Christianity that I was raised with and raised to believe after I read the Bible and went to a whole nother school of divinity, then I don't want to be friends with you. And, people have the right to not want to be friends with me too. And it's okay. And if you just follow the 4 agreements, the most important being not to take things personally, sometimes you just have to end a friendship, and you'll never have enough words to tell a person why you're ending it. Your words will never be good enough. So I'm not in the practice of having exit interviews. This is not a job. You don't have any trade secrets of mine that I'm afraid you're going to expose. And so we don't need an exit interview about what went wrong. It didn't work out. Thank you for the reason and the season. If you want it to be nasty, it's nasty. But I see everything as a beautiful experience. I don't take time out to say, oh, well, this person did this or that. I take time out to look at the reason and the season, right? And what I learned this time around is to stop giving people second chances. I just can't do it anymore. I just can't give people second chances. Not when I have a list of people in my life who love me, support me, uplift me, are happy for me genuinely, may not talk to me every day or every month, but I know they have my back. People that are genuinely praying for my success, people that are genuinely praying for the words that come out of my mouth and heal women, men, and children all across the world. Those are my friends. My friends know that I don't want to sit on FaceTime all day and talk and have my brain picked. Real friends know that I don't want to be told you're coming out to my house and then I put my whole day off and then you stand me up. My boo don't stand me up. So if my boo thing don't stand me up, you can't stand me up. I don't hold grudges. I forgive. It's time for us to rid ourselves of these frenemies. It's time for us to, stop following people on Facebook that we don't really like. Stop looking to see what somebody's status update is when you decide you don't want to be friends with them. Stop talking about them to other people who are still friends with them. That's why I don't really talk to anybody from high school. I love all the people I went to high school with, both high schools that I went to. But the reality is that there's only a small percentage of them that I actually talk to, because I don't want to talk to anybody that talks to me about the past. I don't care about the past. I don't care about high school. I don't care about college. I care about the present day. What are you doing in the present day to make a difference? And my friends from high school, present day, are doing a hell of a lot to make a difference. One of them just got her master's degree in social work. Another one has her master's degree and is the director of communications at this amazing nonprofit. I have some amazing friends, and you may not see me doing, you know, I'm not the person who hangs out with my friends and takes Instagram pics. I'm not knocking it. No shade, no shade. I'm just not that type of person. I like to live in the moment. If I take a picture with my friends, you're probably not gonna see it on a social network. I do it because I love my friends and I wanna capture the moment, but there are so many moments that people miss because they're trying to show the world. I hate when I get off topic, but at the same time, somebody probably needs to hear that. Anyway, back to friendships. So I do have great friends, and I do love my friends, and the people who are my friends love me, they cherish me, they respect me, and I guarantee you that if you look at the people around you, right, and somebody is not loving you and cherishing you and helping you to manifest all the things in your life that you want, then you need to stop and ask yourself, is that person really a friend? And if not, delete them.